At school, a boy mentions how he can't find his gym uniform. He wonders if he left it in the changing room. Suddenly, he notices a girl walking past him. Her name is Kurumi-san, and he can't believe how beautiful she looks today. She has a dignified presence that impresses everyone. She's exactly the type of girl the boy dreams about. He wishes to talk to her one day. Suddenly, he gets pushed by students walking past him. They tease him after pushing him. One of them apologizes and calls him Morikuin. The friend then corrects him and mentions that the boy's name is Fujimori. They tease him, saying they can't remember the name of someone so gloomy. Fujimori responds by saying that's right, someone as gloomy as him. He adds that no one even knows his name. Kurumi-san reaches home and locks her door. Her room is full of pictures of Fujimori in almost every move he makes. She has a pack of Fujimori's discarded tissues and even some of his fallen hair. Now she's holding his gym uniform, and she smells it, talking to it as if it's Fujimori, saying she loves him. Fujimori is still wishing Kurumi-san knows who he is. By graduation, he'd like her to know his name. Kurumi-san already knows him. The next day at school, Fujimori can't seem to find his eraser. He's frustrated, wondering what he's going to do in today's class. Kurumi-san walks past him, seeing him frustrated, and leaves an eraser on his desk, surprising Fujimori. He can't believe that the girl he dreams of actually lent him an eraser. In his head, he thinks about how she noticed he was in trouble and helped him. Not only is she beautiful, but she has the personality of a goddess. While he's thinking to himself, suddenly he gets called by one of the boys who teased him earlier. The boy asks what got him all fidgety, adding that he's creeping him out. The friend then reminds the boy that he shouldn't start messing with Fujimori out of nowhere. The boys ask if it isn't annoying seeing a gloomy guy getting all worked up, adding that it's just irritating. Fujimori just listens to all the insults he gets. From hearing this, he starts overthinking, believing Kurumi-san probably thought he was annoying too when she gave him the eraser. He thinks maybe she lent him the eraser because she was annoyed seeing him all flustered. At home, Kurumi-san puts her eraser and the one she stole from Fujimori on top of each other. Seeing the two erasers makes her excited. She feels joy because she got Fujimori's used eraser. She puts them in a plastic bag like usual. Fujimori is going crazy, thinking he should have returned the eraser with a box of sweets or something. He can't help but think of Kurumi-san's eraser, mentioning that it smelled so nice, and that makes him happy. The truth is, Kurumi-san just really likes Fujimori. Fujimori is in town, shopping. He mentions how he bought so much stuff, but it's only a once-a-month shopping trip, so he thinks it's fine. Suddenly, he sees Kurumi-san, the girl of his dreams. He's blown away as he sees her in her casual clothes. He wonders why she's in the same place as him. He thinks of talking to her. As he tries to get closer, his hand twitches. He sees the three students again, and they mention how the clerk at the karaoke place they went to was such a gloomy guy. They add that he was so creepy. Fujimori hears them saying they don't want to run into gloomy people on their day off. They add that it totally killed the vibe. Hearing this stops Fujimori from talking to Kurumi-san. He believes Kurumi-san probably wouldn't be able to enjoy her day off if she ran into someone like him. At her home, Kurumi-san is obsessing over Fujimori. She can't seem to get enough. She keeps writing. She feels seeing Fujimori-kun in casual clothes this month is cool. Fujimori is now on his way home, and he's really happy. He wonders if Kurumi-san had errands and thinks that maybe someday they could shop together. He dismisses the thought but finds it fun to daydream. Kurumi-san had a great time. The next day at school, Fujimori is facing a tree, practicing how to talk to Kurumi-san. There's a camera in the bushes watching him. He keeps practicing, saying morning. He thinks about how he should say it more clearly to make a better impression. He tries again with more confidence. Kurumi-san is watching him. Fujimori really wants to say good morning to Kurumi-san, the girl he dreams of. Suddenly, he's spotted practicing and he's startled. The boy who's always teasing him laughs, saying that getting greeted by a gloomy guy first thing in the morning is just too much, adding that it's so gross. Hearing that hurts him deeply. The boy continues, saying he'd be depressed if people thought they were friends. After hearing that, Fujimori feels crushed. He starts thinking that a good morning from him to Kurumi-san would be a bother. Kurumi-san is up in the tree recording him. Back at home, Kurumi-san is on her computer editing what she recorded. Turns out she set Fujimori's voice as an alarm. She uses his good morning voice recording as a way to wake herself up. She's obsessed with it, and it makes her happy. She listens to it every day. Fujimori wonders if saying, "Good morning" doesn't work, then maybe on his way home, if he blends in with everyone else and says bye-bye, it might work. Fujimori is now talking to a friend, and the friend tells him that girls are so easy. He mentions that yesterday he got confessed to by 10 of them. Hearing that, Fujimori is in disbelief, really shocked. He compliments his friend, saying he's impressive, Yamamoka-kun. Yamamoka-kun then mentions that he'll give Fujimori advice on how to win over a girl he likes. Fujimori then mentions that there's a girl he wants to talk to. Yamamoka-kun advises him to hook the girl with a conversation. Fujimori questions that. Yamamoka-kun explains that if he passionately talks about something he's into right in front of the girl, she'll start talking to him. Fujimori asks if that's true, then he gets discouraged. He then mentions that lately he's been super into isekai manga. He has also been playing a game called Legend of Gerda. They both look at Kurumi-san. Surprised, Yamamoka-kun asks if Fujimori is aiming for Kurumi-san. Fujimori admits that he is, nervously mentioning that he just wants to get to know her a little better. Yamamoka-kun then tells him that if it were him, he'd win over Kurumi-san easily, but Fujimori has no chance. Hearing that hits Fujimori deeply, and he even agrees with what Yamamoka-kun said. He then suggests that they stop by Bukon on the way home. Kurumi-san was, of course, listening to their conversation. Now at Bukon, Fujimori and Yamamoka-kun have met, just like they planned. Kurumi-san is also there, and she's covered herself so she doesn't get seen by them. To make it less suspicious, she even bought books as if she came to shop. On their way home, Fujimori shows a book to Yamamoka-kun and asks if the cover looks like Kurumi-san. Yamamoka-kun tells him not to say things like that, as she'd probably think he's a creep. At school, the students are told to switch seats. Fujimori got number 18, and he's pretty happy about it since it's a seat in the back near a window. Suddenly, as he's about to sit, he sees Kurumi-san next to him. Fujimori freaks out in disbelief after seeing Kurumi-san. He starts wondering if it's his chance to get closer to Kurumi-san and if he should greet her now. He suddenly bows to her and says, "Nice to meet you." He waits for her response while still bowing. It becomes silent, and she still hasn't responded. Fujimori is now embarrassed and wants to disappear. He then stands up straight and tries to explain, but she tells him she knows. After hearing that, Fujimori feels a little relieved. Suddenly, the boy who always teases him mentions Fujimori's seat and tries to take it, complaining about being stuck in front of the teacher's desk. He tries to manipulate Fujimori, knowing that Fujimori is scared of him. The boy keeps talking, suddenly betting that everyone else would be disappointed to be near a gloomy guy like Fujimori. He then asks Kurumi-san if she agrees. Fujimori starts considering what the boy said. He thinks maybe he's right, and that sitting next to someone like him must be a downer for Kurumi-san. But not this time. After hearing this, the boy then tries taking the seat by force, asking for his ticket. Then, the boy's friend comes and pulls him away. At home, Kurumi-san continues with her daily ritual. She can't get enough. Kurumi-san took Fujimori's seat ticket, and it's part of her new menu for the day. She won't let anyone else have it. Meanwhile, Fujimori is at home, freaking out, unable to believe he just spoke to Kurumi-san today. He calls his mom and excitedly exclaims that they're having red rice today. Fujimori felt a little closer to Kurumi-san today, just from that brief conversation. Natural glossy hair, a makeup look that's barely there. Tomomi Fukuda's strengths are perfectly crafted. She called Yamamoka-kun. Her charm was her adorable, countryside cuteness. He asks her what she wants. With an adorable, cute face, she asks if she can borrow a colored pen. Without a second thought, he agrees as he's deeply in love. He wonders if there's a possibility that Fukuda-san likes him. She just came to manipulate him to get what she wants. She's a pro when it comes to handling gloomy guys. After that, she rushes to Kurumi-san. She mentions that Kurumi-san is cool and beautiful and that she's also her idol. Fukuda then suddenly notices that her friend dropped her notebook and decides to pick it up. After picking it up, a picture of Fujimori slides out, and she's surprised. She starts wondering why Kurumi-san has a photo of a gloomy guy. She also wonders if there's a possibility that Kurumi-san has feelings for the Megane, glasses, guy. She dismisses the idea, thinking it's impossible. She then decides to ask Kurumi-san if she picked up something she dropped, referring to the picture. Kurumi-san says nothing while blushing. Fukuda starts wondering about Kurumi-san's reaction. She finds it cute, but then dismisses that thought, wondering why Kurumi-san is interested in someone like the gloomy guy she saw. She starts thinking of a possibility. She looks on the floor and sees more pictures of Fujimori. Fukuda then looks at her friend, wondering if she's planning on harming Fujimori. She's confused by the sheer number of photos. Fukuda suddenly shouts that she won't accept it. She asks Kurumi-san if she really likes Fujimori, the gloomy guy. She adds that he's not a good match for her and that she needs a high-spec, attractive guy. Kurumi-san then asks Fukuda if she dislikes quiet people since she tends to attract those kinds of people. She responds with a big no. Fukuda mentions that that's just her ultimate goal. Anyone else is just a background character. She adds that Fujimori is on the background character side, and there's no way she will accept that. Kurumi-san responds, saying that Fukuda is so complicated. Suddenly, Fukuda walks away, saying she's going to check out the kind of guy Kurumi-san is into. Hearing this makes Kurumi-san nervous. She follows her, and they both watch Fujimori and Yamamoka-kun reading a book. Fukuda is shocked by what she's seeing. She shouts at Kurumi-san, telling her to wake up. She says that if Kurumi-san is going to date someone, it should definitely be a high-spec, handsome guy. While still lecturing Kurumi-san, she takes another look at Fujimori. Fujimori thinks Kurumi-san prefers a high-spec, handsome guy over someone gloomy like him. Fukuda feels like Fujimori is thinking something negative about himself. Suddenly, she says she doesn't accept it and walks over to Fujimori and Yamamoka-kun with a serious expression. She doesn't want someone like Fujimori dating her friend. As she gets closer, she shouts Fujimori's name and asks him to have lunch with her. Fujimori and Yamamoka-kun are surprised and don't understand what's going on. During break time, Fukuda asks Kurumi-san if they can swap dishes. Fujimori and Yamamoka-kun join them. They wonder what's up with the group. Fujimori then decides to ask why they are suddenly having lunch together. He's happy, but he's also nervous. Yamamoka-kun thinks that Fukuda is in love with him. Fujimori asks if that's true and looks at her, saying it makes sense. She then decides to question Fujimori. She asks if there's anything he's good at. He nervously says there's nothing at all. She obviously doesn't believe him, so she asks about his hobbies, best subject, anything special, the longest he's stuck with an extracurricular activity, and what he has achieved. She also asks which sport he's best at, what rank he got in the midterms, and if he likes fashion. She smiles big, pointing out that he doesn't seem to have any standout qualities. This leaves Fujimori embarrassed. Then suddenly, Yamamoka-kun mentions that he reached S+30 in Splatoon and did well in X matches too. His main weapon is the bolt, and he adds that it's why he looks up to Kurumi-san. After hearing that, Fukuda is really surprised. She even asks Kurumi-san if she heard it and if she doesn't like what she's hearing. She adds that guys without standout qualities aren't appealing and tells Kurumi-san to open her eyes. Kurumi-san finally responds, saying Fujimori's hobbies are manga and games. His best subject is math and he got 94 in the midterms. His special skill is pen spinning. He studied calligraphy from 2nd grade to 6th grade and had his work displayed in a senior exhibit. He's good at swimming, and in the midterms, he ranked 155th out of 1,324 students. His clothes are usually picked out by his mom. After hearing all that, Fukuda is left stunned, unable to respond, just stuttering. Her image of Fujimori has slightly changed. It was surprising, but Fujimori is so happy he got to eat lunch with Kurumi-san, even though he didn't say a single word to her. The next class is basic physics. Fujimori looks under the desk and can't find his textbook. He starts wondering if he forgot it. Kurumi-san then asks if he wants to use hers. He suddenly freaks out, asking if it's okay. Fujimori thought she was turned off by how pathetic he seemed during lunch, but he feels relieved now since it looks like everything's okay. She suggests that they push their desks together. Kurumi-san is now closer to him, and he's very nervous. He thinks she smells nice and that her eyelashes are so long. She's also kind. He's really happy. After class, Fujimori is so in love and feels like he's in heaven. Yamamoka-kun mentions that they should head home already. Suddenly, Fujimori tells his friend to go on ahead. Yamamoka-kun agrees, wondering if he forgot something. Fujimori rushes back to class because he wants to thank Kurumi-san before he leaves, hoping maybe he can get closer to her. He peeks into the class and sees she's still there. He's confident he'll go talk to her, but she's already doing her daily ceremony with what she took from Fujimori. She has his basic physics book and is about to put it in her pack. Fujimori sees her and gets nervous, wondering if maybe she totally hates him. He has completely misunderstood the situation. Flashback. The girls in class were looking for one more person for their group work, unsure of what to do. They noticed a girl sitting by herself and one suggested they invite her. Seeing this, the other girls quickly refused, saying, "No way," and adding that Kurumi-san was too gloomy. Back to the present. Kurumi-san is asked by a teacher to read. While reading, everyone in class is suddenly surprised by her confident and composed voice. Fujimori is in disbelief, amazed at how self-assured Kurumi-san seems. Then it's Fujimori's turn to read. He stands up, but the nerves kick in as he remembers what he saw earlier. Now he's convinced that Kurumi-san hates him. He thinks it must be because of that awkward lunch break, believing she was disappointed in him. The teacher moves closer, asking if he's okay. Determined to redeem himself, he decides to show off his one and only skill, pen spinning. He hopes that somehow this will impress Kurumi-san, because he likes her so much. Meanwhile, in the girls' bathroom, Kurumi-san and Fukuda are having a conversation. Fukuda asks if Kurumi-san finally realized how useless Fujimori is, based on that one day, and if she's come to her senses. She wonders how Kurumi-san can admire someone she barely knows, and insists that Kurumi-san deserves someone more impressive. Fukuda has always admired Kurumi-san's confidence. Kurumi-san responds, saying that's not true at all. She admits that she's bad at expressing herself and struggles to show her emotions. She says she's not the kind of person Fujimori thinks she is, and she'd rather he not get to know her better. Right now, she feels that the distance between them is just right for her. As for Fujimori, after his pen-spinning attempt fails, he tells himself he'll try again next time. Back in class, the teacher announces that for the next field trip, students should pair up with the person sitting next to them to create a report. Fujimori sees this as a chance to get closer to Kurumi-san. With mixed feelings, he looks forward to the field trip. Before the trip, Fujimori is looking at his phone, thinking about how fashion can make a good impression. He really wants to show Kurumi-san a new side of himself during the field trip. Suddenly, a boy and a girl walk up to him, asking if he's into clothes. He quickly hides his phone, panicking, worried that they'll tease him like the boy who always calls him gloomy. The girl mentions that he seems creepy. The boy then introduces himself as Ryosuke Aizawa and sits down, asking again if Fujimori is into clothes. Fujimori is surprised that Ryosuke just casually sat next to him. Ryosuke then shows him a recommendation for a good place called Ziz. Fujimori tries to deny his interest, saying he only wanted to make a good impression on his partner for the upcoming field trip, so he thought he'd put some effort into his outfit. Ryosuke and the girl look at him, puzzled, especially about the partner he mentioned, who is obviously Kurumi-san. The girl tells Fujimori that the upcoming field trip will be in gym clothes, and Fujimori is shocked, asking if that's true. He mutters, "I see." Ryosuke suddenly holds Fujimori's face, which makes Fujimori freak out. Ryosuke then comments on Fujimori's eyes, saying he has a nice eye shape. The girl adds that Ryosuke's eyes are 100 times better, but Ryosuke continues, saying Fujimori has nice, big eyes. He advises Fujimori that if he wants to improve his look, he should focus on more than just clothes. He suggests changing his hairstyle and shaping his eyebrows. He even recommends lifting or cutting his hair to make his eyes more visible. Fujimori thanks Ryosuke and decides to follow his advice, planning to cut his hair and do everything he was told. He's determined to do his best on the field trip, hoping to make a good impression on Kurumi-san. Field trip day. Fujimori looks different now, and all eyes are on him. All he cares about is getting closer to Kurumi-san. The girl with Ryosuke keeps calling his name, saying the disaster has arrived. With his new look, everyone is staring at him. Some are even laughing, and Kurumi-san is blushing at this rare version of Fujimori. Seeing everyone's attention, Fujimori starts sweating, wondering if he messed up. He glances at Ryosuke, then turns to look at Kurumi-san, but she doesn't even glance his way and keeps minding her own business. He now believes he made a mistake. They finally reach their destination. The teacher reminds the students to watch their steps on the mountain path, warning that losing focus could lead to injuries. Despite the rocky start, Fujimori is not discouraged. He's still confident, thinking it's too early to give up. The day has just begun. Kurumi-san spots a flower and compliments it. Fujimori jumps in, suggesting that they write their report on mountain plants, adding that he even brought a field guide with him. Kurumi-san, however, just looks at her phone. Fujimori notices this and starts thinking that he's boring. which is why she's already distracted by her phone. But he refuses to give up. Today is the day he's going to redeem his image. But things don't go as planned, and he starts feeling like it's hopeless. Yamamoka-kun approaches him and asks if he's okay. Suddenly, 3 girls walk up to them. One of them starts teasing Fujimori, saying, "Isn't this a total disaster?" She reminds him of his goal to make a good impression on his partner, adding that there's no way he can achieve that. Fujimori realizes that the girl talking is the one who was with Ryosuke. She continues to chatter, saying that if he really wants to be liked, he needs to be more like her boyfriend, someone who knows how to give subtle gifts. Hearing that, Fujimori suddenly gets an idea. Since he's a gloomy guy with no sense of style, Fujimori isn't very confident about giving gifts. But still, he wants to get closer to Kurumi-san and convey his feelings. He reaches for a flower, and because Kurumi-san is always secretly watching or filming him, she rushes toward him as he's about to touch it. She calls out to him, and they both end up falling into a hole. Fujimori starts freaking out, thinking he might be dead. Kurumi-san suggests that maybe the hole is under construction. While he's still panicking, she tells him to wait and asks if he can stand since they might get separated from the others, so they need to hurry. He realizes that he feels pain, so she asks if he sprained his leg and gets closer to check. He quickly insists that he's fine. He then tells her to catch up with the others. He starts apologizing, and she asks why he wandered off the path earlier. That's when he remembers and pulls out the flowers he was picking. He tries to show her the flowers, explaining that he wanted to give them to her, but the petals suddenly fly away, leaving only the stem. He's speechless and laughs awkwardly, apologizing for giving her just a stem and admitting it's useless. He tells her to forget about it and apologizes for making things awkward. She responds, saying it's not like that. Fujimori suddenly starts crying, apologizing for seeming so creepy and promising to stop right away. He insists that he didn't mean for things to be like this. He begs her not to hate him, saying he just wanted to be someone she wouldn't dislike, so he tried really hard, but it was all for nothing. He adds that everything he did only ended up being a failure, bothering her and causing trouble, so it's only natural that she'd hate him. Kurumi-sen then takes his hand and tells him she doesn't hate him. She reminds him that even when he fails or gets teased, he never gives up. He keeps trying again and again. She shares that she's given up on many things and has always hidden who she really is. She thinks he's amazing and someone she looks up to. Hearing that, Fujimori blushes. Suddenly, he's startled. It's Ryosuke and his girlfriend. He asks what they're doing. After that, Fujimori got seriously chewed out by the teacher. But he felt like he got a little closer to Kurumi-san, the girl of his dreams.